Is that a tick? Oh, that's just a nipple. Just a nipple. So Dad's got some, I think, storeless station duties, and we're gonna move some bales. Everyone's fed. Bull's doing some early morning paperwork. I ever tell you about one of the first times I was hauling bales? I was pulling them down the road, and all of a sudden I got a big lurch. Stuff started pulling hard. I finally stopped and I saw the bales were all hanging to one side. The rim snapped around all these lugs. Tire fell off. So that was a fun day. So we're here at the South Farm. This is that little 3-acre field that I cut last video. I had something I had to attend, so Dad and Jeff, Uncle Jeff, raked and baled this at 6 a.m. the other morning for a 40-mile-an-hour wind. So they got it up in the nick of time because, as you know, when you rake it and it's windy, it starts blowing. Even if we wouldn't have raked it that day and it was matted to the ground, it still might have blown around a little bit. 10 bales off this 3 acres. So that's over 3 bales an acre. That's pretty decent for this last 2 years. A lot of comments on a previous video. They were saying you don't need to get out to take the pin out. Just attach a rope to it and pull the pin out so you don't have to climb out of the tractor. Well, we got this safety thing here, the safety pin that holds this pin in. And so if we had it to where we just yank on a rope, wouldn't be able to have this in. That saves us from killing people going down the road. So it's not that hard for me to climb out and pull the pin and not have 20,000 pounds of bales smashed into somebody driving to work. Look at this little baby bale over here, so tiny. The cows look at that and say, I just want to eat you up. We're over at the South Farm. This is where we put our hay. We've had this before, full, from this fence to that fence to that fence all the way up to there with hay. And this is all we had left over from last year. That's alfalfa, and that's a little bit of grass over there. And we winter a lot of cows, and we also bring cows and calves over here early in the spring before we can let them out to pasture. So we feed quite a bit of hay over here. Everything we bale over here usually stays here, because there's no sense in bringing it home and then bringing it back.
And then for Sunday, mostly sunny and breezy with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon. Sunday's high 89, southeast wind.
I don't believe it for a second. I've been lied to too much. I ever tell you about the time I was picking up bales and I picked one up and I could see something dangling from it, and I walked over to it and it was a live snake that got baled up. Half his body was hanging out. He was still alive, shaking around. I don't think he appreciated the predicament he found himself in. I'd like to hear of some weird things you saw baled up. Maybe an animal. Please leave them in the comments below and I'll pin my favorite one to the top of the comments. So there's your challenge for the day. If you get nothing else done except what I just asked of you, I'd call it a successful day. And you can be proud of yourself. I got a pretty good one. I just remembered this. It's been a while. When I was little, you know, it was a nice hot summer day. I'm probably 4 foot tall. I was about this tall right here on the bale. You know, it's a hot summer day. Just had my third freezy pop before noon when my mom says don't have more than 2 in a day. Us little kids, we loved running on top of the bales, and so I thought, you know, I'm pretty hyped up. I'm juiced. I think I can, if I run fast enough, I can hop right up, land my feet right here. And so I start backing up, and I take off running, and I'm getting close to the bale, and I jump, and I kid you not, I don't think I got my neck over top of the bale, running full speed, just chest to chest. It's just a good thing that I didn't have a camera with me, because that would be some embarrassing video. Only 15 bales left over here, and then we'll start headed home. Got 40 grass bales moved. On the way home, we're gonna stop at the next field, grab another load and take that back. Dad'll finish picking up the rest of those 60 bales today. He took a couple trips yesterday. I keep leaving the door open when I'm pulling the pin out and putting it in. And now all these flies are in here. And they're like biting through my sock, and it's really annoying. And then I slap it, trying to kill the fly. But then I just end up slapping my sunburn and the fly flies away. So it's not going too good up here in Sunnyville. "55 bales moved before noon." And later, what are we doing? Oh, we got some skidder work to do. We got a manure pile, and we're gonna add to it. We are done calving. It is July, middle of July about. We don't need this makeshift pen here. Move this panel, windbreak, and then we got a bunch of manure right there. And there's also bedding and manure in the barn. And last year, it was pretty clean, like barely used, and so we left all that bedding in there. Well, then every time we went in there was tons of mice living in it, and so I hate mice with a passion, and so I don't want them living in my barn. Should keep a few less mice from living in here. And then next time we have the manure spreader hooked up. Got a decent pile of jazz to haul out. Not sure how long this farm focus box has been here. We better run over to Storeless Station because we were running dry again. And Dad has a good story about Storeless Station. A fella named Larry, him and his wife are avid watchers of the channel. And Larry made this and sent it all the way from Florida. Thanks a bunch, Larry. Would you like an ice cream sandwich when I come back? Okay. You're not as good looking as the person usually behind the desk.
I think I'm charming and delightful, though.
So we had someone stop here the other day.
We had a truck driver pull in and just off the path a little bit, and he said he was a stage setup guy and trucker for Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks himself.
Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that was pretty cool.
yeah. And then Bev and I fought over the little trinket he gave her that she wanted, so there's a pick from Garth himself.
It's slappy time. I was in Walmart yesterday with my fiance, and someone yelled, "Hey, it's the YouTube guy." Can't say I've gotten that one before. The YouTube guy. It's better than that guy with the really white legs. So when we put this back together after we set up the AeroQuip system, we didn't quite finish in here. That panel was laying at a weird angle and wasn't really in the ground that well. So I'm just gonna put that back together. Might need to move some railroad ties, might need to drill some holes in the earth. And I was thinking, you know, it's only 95 degrees. It's a good day to do it. So this one ended up right in the middle of the gate. I'm just gonna move it over, as simple as that. Just gonna move one and then probably grab a piece of continuous fence and fill in this gap here. Top of this post is too wide. It doesn't fit in my post bounder, so I'm gonna have to take something and cut a chunk off. It's gonna look funny. There's gonna be 3 railroad ties right next to each other and then a gap. It's gonna be strong enough. The only thing I can take this out, but it's not doing any harm right there besides making it look weird. And we don't need another one right there. It's gonna be plenty strong. And those people on YouTube make fun of me. No, it's straight, and instead of 2 green gates overlapping, we just got 1 continuous fence panel. Gotta come back and cut these off so they're not sticking into the next sorting alley. We have this railroad tie on part of the gate. That way when they come in here and they're pushing, they're not opening the gate the other way. Oops. So we have 1 AeroQuip walkthrough gate that we haven't used yet, and I'm thinking we're gonna put it right here. Just cut this section of fence out, because there's quite a few times where we're sorting in there and then we want to get in here pretty quick. Probably do that another day, think on it a little more, make sure that's where we want that nice green walk-through gate at. Otherwise, we moved some bales. Dad just brought back the last load, so we moved about 70 bales today. We got no hay on the ground and really just hoping for a rain here soon. Thank you all for watching. We really appreciate it. Love to see you next time. Have a good one.
Cole, have you ever tried one of our delicious hoggies?
I don't think I have.
Sounds delicious.
Looks like you got some on your face.
Okay, it was delicious.